Hey, all of you crackers out there, but today we're going to be talking about Cracker Barrel, which is, I don't know, I find kind of absurd and silly with the controversy going around it, but I can understand it at the same time. So, Cracker Barrel brings back old logo, restaurant goes full about face after Trump pushback. And I'm sure all of you are familiar, like, we changed our logo and we're changing our interior. And then, employees are coming out going, this is how they make your food and it's crap. And then you got people going, these biscuits are rock hard. Just look around, you'll find these videos. Basically, everybody's dumping on them, rightfully so. And yeah, okay, good, great. This crap's getting pointed out, but I think the focus should have been on that they announced how they embraced DEI, and that's why people should be really upset.
Yeah.
But here we are. So Cracker Barrel announced that it's going back to his old logo after getting pushback from President Trump online. Cracker Barrel just learned a very expensive lesson in branding. Don't mess with nostalgia and don't underestimate your customer. After unveiling a new modernized logo earlier this month, the restaurant chain faced swift backlash from loyal patrons, investors, and eventually President Trump himself. Here's the thing. Yeah, they're trying to embrace the future. Most of America, they don't want this modernization. They're like, give us back the past. We're now we're longing for the past. It's like oh, there's a well, let's see. There's a all the technology that they want to take a break from. There's they miss of course it's different for different people. They miss the time they had with their grandparents and the old fashioned feel to that. There's all the ghetto fatigue and they want to get away from that. But the
And
companies are going, no, we're going into the future and we want to appeal to young and brown and black people and
well,
and, and rainbow haired and nose ring mafia people.
the thing is what they
There's a
don't
great
realize.
fatigue on all that. We're fatigued.
Yeah.
These people can exist, sure, but they're so in your face about it. They're making scenes everywhere you go. We want a
Yeah.
little touch of the past back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now it's like everybody wants to relive the 80s. And
Yeah, they just think they do. The '80s wasn't how they, these TV shows, movies portray it, but it was a better time overall. Harder in a lot of ways, but better. Okay, the company announced it would scrap the redesign or restore its traditional logo, complete with the old country store heritage and the iconic imagery fans have come to expect. On August 19th, Cracker Barrel rolled out what it hoped would be a fresh direction for its image. These modern generation, people, your modern customer, they don't care. They don't, they're using DoorDash and having stuff brought to them. They're like, I don't care what's on your logo. I don't want to go in your store. you
yeah,
know.
they don't even get out of the house. How they go, how they go, they don't care. I mean,
So yeah, you've seen what they've changed logo to a pared down logo with a simplified barrel design. The name, I don't know, I think they took the barrel out entirely, except kind of the shape of it, which doesn't really portray, say barrel, but with the name Cracker Barrel in plain lettering, and the removal of the old country store from the emblem. Missing entirely was the beloved Uncle Herschel figure that for decades embodied the company's rustic down home feel. They also kind of disrespected the people who started Cracker Barrel. I mean, think about that. I mean, haven't we always been taught to, honor the heritage, honor your elders, and learn from the past? And okay, you think about, I'm hungry. I want to sit somewhere and eat. You want a comfortable feel. You don't want like, oh, this is so modern. What?
well, I think that now the the younger people and people coming up that's working in the industry and designing all this stuff, they forgot there's older people still alive that really enjoy this kind of stuff because it's
Yeah.
a nostalgia for
Well, look at the picture. It's the older people who actually go out to places to eat.
them. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, if they're gonna really try to attract the modern generation, they would have to not only change their image, they would have to change their name and their menu entirely.
yeah,
Because a lot of the young people aren't going. I'd really like me some grits and biscuits and gravy right now. It's not happening. What the hell
yeah.
are they thinking?
They're not. I mean, like I said,
Hey,
the
look, they got tools, pitchfork and axe and so on their walls. Do you think these motherfuckers ever did a day's work with such tools?
no,
Okay, and yes, I get it. The young people are like, oh, this redneck shit. It's a bunch of rednecks. They're ignorant. Bunch of rednecks. But they need a sense of old fashioned, and sometimes they go to places. Ones that actually get out, go to places and go, hey, this is quaint. It's got this old fashioned motif, right? They think it's a gimmick, a thing, right? I mean, yeah, it is, but it also respects the old ways. Some young people actually appreciate that.
yeah, they do, and they don't want to see it disappear because they understand the ones that enjoy this kind of stuff. They understand that that's where they come from, and I'm talking about younger people of all nations. I mean, they have nostalgia too. So, yeah, they would enjoy it. And they get to sit around with their parents and grandparents and go into a place like this, and their grandparents can talk to them about, you know,
Well,
the olden days and stuff like
well,
that.
the modern audience, the modern this that the modern anything kind of want to destroy the nuclear family. Places like that are family establishments, and we're sorely lacking family now.
Yeah,
People should be mad as hell about this.
I honestly think that the DEI and everything else is, they're jealous of the family unit, the nuclear family unit.
Well, the mass majority of them can't make a family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for the term to come out. Look, it's breeders. I mean, they already started calling people olds. Okay, but anyway, Cracker Barrel pitched a redesign as part of its All the More campaign, the modernization strategy meant to signal growth and evolution. All the more. All right, look. You don't grow your user base by cutting off half of it.
Well, what they're doing, I mean, they have people that go to business, they graduate from business school to run these kind of places, but what they're not understanding is their bread and butter comes from the older generation, and
And
they have a more
families.
yeah, and they have a more steady income. If you cut off the steady income in hopes to gain the always fluctuating income, then your backbone of your business is going to fall.
Okay, so Representative Brian Donald is a rising Republican voice tied his own life to the story of Cracker Barrel, stressing how deeply the brand resonates with families and communities. Donald Trump Jr. also weighed in, calling the redesign a part of the broader trend of woke corporate nonsense. And it is. It is so, some people are like, that's not woke. What's woke about that? You're trying to cut off the family connection. You're disgracing the memory of the people who started the company by taking the cracker out.
Well, I
It's like,
honestly,
first we'll get rid of Whitey,
yeah,
then we'll redesign the inside so it's modern. All right, but anyway, I'll continue. Then the biggest spotlight of them all, President Trump, writing on True Social, said at Cracker Barrel to go back to the old logo, calling consumer pushback the ultimate poll and suggesting the company could turn this into $1 billion worth of free publicity if handled the moment correctly. He's absolutely right. I mean, their stock crashed. There was people upset all over the place, going, "Why you do this? This is wrong." And yeah, I mean, the ultimate poll, they got their answer. The person that did this design, or maybe it was the head of the Cracker Barrel, I forget which one. But they're like, we've had nothing but positive feedback. They were lying out the fucking asshole.
Well, I mean, I
Oh,
know I've
they could turn this into $1 billion worth of free publicity because now everybody's thinking Cracker Barrel. Everybody's gonna be looking at the logo, and if they do this quick turnaround like they're claiming to be doing, people are gonna notice it. And people's like, I forgot that place existed. We've heard about that lately. It's in the zeitgeist, is in your mind space. They're gonna end up going to it.
that is very true.
So by Tuesday, the company caved in a formal statement. Cracker Barrel admitted that the redesign was a mistake and confirmed that the old logo will remain the face of the brand. We heard our customers, the company said. Your voices reminded us who we are and who we'll always be. We're keeping our traditional logo, our old country store name, and yes, Uncle Herschel will still be on our menu. It doesn't say on their logo, it says on their menu. Now, I know, right, like a day before they announced uh some people don't like our design and it's a vocal minority and blah blah blah, and basically they're going, tough shit, we're doing it anyway. And then a day goes by, Trump said something, and now this. Yeah, they're fucking sellouts. They're
Yeah.
scared. So, analysts compared the incident to Bud Light's infamous 2023 controversy, warning that nostalgia driven brand risk losing their most loyal customers when they tinker too aggressively with heritage symbols. Now, I take it they're talking about when they put a transformer on the beer can. Okay, I can see rednecks all across America, and no, they're not just in the South, they're in all the states, maybe all the countries too, but whatever the case. They're like, get me some Bud Light. Got me a 12 pack, right? Drinking with my buddies. And like, who's this woman? Who's this woman on the can? And they're drinking and like, hey, we got a woman on the can. And one of them goes, that's not a woman. It's not a woman. And like, motherfucker. Yeah, what? How did that? What dumb fuck come up with this? Seriously, how much up their own asses are they to do this? Well, the Cracker Barrel thing, sure, but the Bud Light thing is like, whoa, how much are they have their, how far up their asshole is their head stuck?
You do not mess with people's beer. That's a cardinal rule. You don't mess with people's beer. And evidently you do not mess with Cracker Barrel.
Well, looks like it's cracker time, but I still won't be eating there. Okay, look. That's all for this one. Until next time, later.